That's what I wanted to say. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are, whenever you are. A client of mine a few minutes ago sent me a message about 4th of July, what to do with his dog. And then I was like, holy crap, I've done a blog post in the past, but I have not done a video, and now I'm practicing my video skills, or being at least in front of camera skills. I said, okay, let me go do a quick video on 4th of July and dogs. Obviously, I'm recording this at end of June, June 29th, 2022. Ooh, I'm dating myself. Hang on, let me make sure I have my notes in front of me. Perfect, everything is looking good. I'm looking good. Okay. Anyway, 4th of July, right? So obviously 4th of July is can be super stressful for our dogs for a variety of different reasons. You know, the explosions, change in the pressure of the air. And since we can't reason with the dogs, in other words, we can't pre-pave with our dogs by going and saying, hi, dog. Later on, a bunch of people are gonna start shooting fireworks, and then that's normal. It's only for one day, or in my neighborhood, usually for 2-3 days long party. Just relax, it's gonna be over. Dogs don't have that concept. They always live in the now, and therefore all their things are always now. So when the explosions start happening, they totally freak out. I mean, this is true for a lot of people. Unfortunately, have spent a lot of time in war zone. A lot of our military personnel that have experienced explosions don't enjoy it. I myself don't always like until 2 a.m. some people are shooting fireworks, but it is what it is. So we'll just go with that. I read a study a while ago, many years ago. They did a story or study in Australia. I don't remember the details of it, but I remember the part that really relates to me as a dog owner and a dog trainer. Is they looked at dogs that were born in the thunder season. I guess Australia has a thunder season. So the dogs, they were in there before 6 months old during that thunder season because they were desensitized, and then they weren't afraid of thunder, versus dogs that are born and they were into 6, 7, 8 months of age or older. By the time they reached the thunder season, they were inclined to be more. And this makes sense if you think about it. These desensitized dogs to things would be helpful. So whenever you have a puppy, and if you're planning to get a puppy, you want to take your dog to firework displays if you can get your timing right, and then make sure this event is successful for your puppy. In other words, take a jar of peanut butter or take some sort of high value treats, something that your dog really enjoys. And I'm talking about high value, not just some crappy kibbles. I mean, that may work too, but the goal is for your dog to associate this loud explosion with super amazing experience in their body. Or even if this treat or peanut butter or whatever you're giving to your dog is super high value, they could simply even ignore the entire fireworks because they would be so focused in that jar of peanut butter. Notice that I said the jar of peanut butter, not a spoon of peanut butter. And so then the explosions and the fireworks and all that thing could become secondary, where your dog is like, yeah, I don't care what it is. So that's the ideal scenario for most dogs, that if you have access to your dog as a puppy, expose them in the first 6 months of their life into some sort of fireworks, loud explosions, and things like that. I've done an episode on puppy survival, I think, and we covered this. If not, I'll make a note of it and make a puppy survival or puppy desensitization episode to share with you. So that's the desensitization, or in fact, making it better, making a good association for your dog with the fireworks. But what happens, you get a dog that didn't happen, or you rescued a dog, is already freaking out with the fireworks, all that. So what's the solution if we cannot desensitize our dogs with the fireworks? Then there are a few things that you can do. I want to remind everybody, full disclaimer, because this is going to be on YouTube. I'm not a vet. I'm not a doctor. This is not a medical advice. Do not take action on this. Okay, so Benadryl has a drowsiness effect. So you can try some medicine that makes your dog drowsy. Melatonin makes your dog drowsy. So these are good tools, medical things that you can use. Please check with your vet, because the dosage is going to be different than what you would give to your child or take for yourself. So it's important for you to check with your veterinarian before you take action on this. Melatonin and Benadryl both will make your dog drowsy and sleepy. This is a defensive posture, obviously. CBD works good. In fact, that is my go-to for my dog. Now, I use CBD all for other reasons for my dogs, the joint and everything else, but CBD also has a calming effect. Again, it takes 3 days for this to be in your dog's system. So although there are a lot of treats, they say, oh, just some calming, they have these calming name, calming hemp and calming CBD treats and all that. But for CBD to be in the dog's bloodline, it takes minimum 3 days. So there's a false sense of security, I'm sure, by giving your dog CBD treats that day. But if you want it to properly work, have a calming effect for your dog, you want to start a few days, 3 days minimum before, so you can actually see if it's working or not. And also if you need to adjust the dosage. So that's the CBD part. Third is Thundershirt. Thundershirt is, I had from my client base, it literally is a 50-50. When we counted the people who Thundershirt worked for and people who Thundershirt did not work for, it was split down in the middle. So either it works or it doesn't work. So I suggest keep your receipt. So what Thundershirt works is in a physiological part. It is actually a tightening sensation and has really cool Velcros, really nice product. I like it. Again, I use it and it happened to work for my dog. And so what that does is it actually gives your dog this squeezing, hugging sensation. And that often has an impact on dogs as a calming impact. So that certainly would work as well. Next thing you want to try is probably tire your dog. What I mean by that is, I hope you're walking your dog. If not, please listen to the episode on human walk your dog. They need it. So that's one thing. But anyway, so I hope you're walking your dog, but go for a longer walk. Change your schedule to maybe instead of walking your dog in the morning, maybe walk your dog before sunset and go for a longer walk, maybe a weight. If you have a doggy backpack, so you can actually wait, so they could be physically tiring. You could swim your dog, anything that will make them really physically tired would be good. Go up the hills and different things, whatever is gonna tire your dog. Maybe play fetch, or like I said, go swimming. Variety of different things that you could do. And also on your walk, You could mentally tire your dog by changing your routine. So go to more places, change your usual path. So your dog has to smell different smells and they have to do different mental calculations as a dog. So you could do this and also keeping your dog accountable. So on this walk, if your goal is to tire your dog, what you're going after is actually for your dog to smell and mark as much as possible. Don't allow your dog to pull on a leash, but this walk is not for you to be like, I'm the boss, you gotta walk really neat with me, although that would be helpful. But what you're working on this particular walk, 4th of July walk, let's call it, for your dog to really smell everything they need to smell and then mark every bush they wanna mark. And so this will give them a little bit more mental and physical tiredness. So these are, again, or some quick tips and tricks that you can do. And finally, one of the things that you could do is you could really create a natural environment and really show your dog that this is a normal behavior. So in other words, you know, hang out at home, chill out with your dog, and then the fireworks are happening. When your dog is scared, there's a good chance your dog is gonna look at you. He says, what the hell is going on? And so calmer you are when this happens and not suck up to your dog or not reinforce this stressful situation, that will be much more helpful for your dog. So some of don'ts, let's cover that. So when your dog is freaking out, don't go, shh, sweet, it's okay, relax, mommy loves you, daddy loves you, you're fine. These softnesses that are really helpful for us humans are, from a dog's perspective, they could interpret this as reinforcement. So what you're essentially doing is when your dog is freaking out, being scared, you're saying, oh, this is what I want. This is what I want you to be. This is a right behavior. This is what I want to encourage more. So it is better for you. I'm not saying, it sounds like tough love, but what I'm saying is be at least neutral, meaning that ignore what's happening or just have the mindset of like, yes, fireworks is happening. Yes, it sucks, but it is what it is. So your energy, hear me out on this, please. Your energy, what makes the difference rather than what you say and what you do with your dog. I hope you got that. Energy is in how you are approaching it. So not what you're saying, but it's how you're approaching this situation for your dog. If you're trying to guide your dog through this stressful situation, this stressful time, the last thing you want to do is be panicky. So calmer you are, yep, it's happening. Yeah, it's fine. Better your dog is going to react. Another don't is don't stick your dog in a backyard because that's where the danger is. Second one, if I remember this correctly, 4th of July is when most of the dogs run away from home. So make sure your gates are closed, maybe locked. Make sure that your dog cannot escape. If you have a climber, meaning that your dog jumps over your fence and they're able to do this, when you go outside, make sure you go out with them. So that would be helpful. And pretty please with sugar on top. Make sure your dog is wearing their collar and their tags on 4th of July. So if they do run away for some reason, that you can at least have a chance of recovering your dog. This is going to be one of the hardest day in your dog's life, not this day, but 4th of July. Because of all these unknown explosions and all this stuff is happening. And it's part of life, especially if you live in the United States. But of course, same thing happens if you live in England. 5th of November, remember the 5th of November, fireworks. And so again, if you're in Hong Kong, fireworks. If you live in Anaheim, where Disney World, Disneyland is having fireworks all the time. So if your dog is not desensitized, this is going to be one of the hardest days of their life. So, or at least hardest day of the year. So be patient, be understanding, don't suck up, and provide leadership rather than panicky, I don't know what the hell I'm doing type of situation. I hope this was helpful. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this with your dog friends. My name is Turk Akbay. I know dogs. I help humans have the best relationship with their dogs. And then my goal with these videos and with these podcasts to help you be the owner your dog deserves. I hope to see you in the next video. Please join our community and share this video with your dog friends. You're loved and appreciated here. Bye, everyone.